Hi YouTube, and welcome back to our channel. Okay, so this one is gonna be kind of a big one. Over the next 5 videos, we're taking you with us on a 67-day road trip across the US. And back again. Just me, Holly, and my boyfriend at the time, now fiance, Alex. We started in Florida, drove all the way to California, then up to Vancouver, Canada, and then made our way all the way back to Florida. 2 people, a few more rental cars than we were initially expecting, 67 days, thousands of miles, too many snacks, and way too much coffee. This is part 1 of a 5-part series where we share the entire journey with you. The highs, the lows, and the absolute chaos of life on the road with your favourite person. So go grab a snack, maybe a coffee, and come along, because this is where the adventure starts. Our first official stop, Miami. A city that somehow feels like a holiday and a blockbuster movie all at the same time. It's tropical, it's vibrant, and it's got this amazing Cuban influence that's baked into everything. The food, the music, the energy. It's all the pastel buildings, ocean breeze, and beachy calm on one side, and huge city, fast cars, and neon lights on the other. We started things off in South Beach, which felt like the perfect way to ease into the whole cross-country madness. Warm sand, salty air, and way too much sunscreen. We spent a lot of time just soaking it all in. The beach, the colours, the palm trees, and just general excitement of finally being in the US. One of the coolest things we did here was the boat cruise around their millionaire homes. Super flashy, super fun, and yes, we booked it on Get Your Guide because we're organised like that. But honestly, a lot of Miami was just us getting set up for the road trip. We sorted out our toll pass, got US SIM cards, and made sure we wouldn't get lost forever. All the glamorous behind the scenes stuff that goes into making this 67-day road trip actually work. Oh, and of course we had to check out the Everglades, because after seeing crocodiles in Africa, that video just went up by the way, we were ready to meet a slightly different, slightly more chill American cousin, the alligator. All in all, Miami was a perfect mix of relaxation, exploring, and prepping. A warm, slightly chaotic welcome to the United States. While we were in Miami, we stayed at Sonda the Deco, which honestly ended up being such a great find, although they have now changed names. It was super affordable for being right in South Beach, and we were actually kind of shocked at how nice it was for the price. We booked it through booking.com, which we used for most of our hotel. Okay, let's talk about the food in Miami, because honestly, it was next level. It's this amazing Cuban, Mexican, and classic American mix, and every meal just felt like a full-on flavor explosion. Fun fact, over 50% of Miami's population is Cuban or Latin American. So it's no surprise that the food here has such flavor, culture, and soul packed into it. The whole city was this party energy too. Loud music, open air restaurants, neon lights, and it just felt like people were always celebrating something. Fun fact, Miami is actually one of the only major cities in the US that was founded by a woman, Junior Tunnel, and honestly, we love a woman that builds a beachside food paradise. Atmosphere-wise, it was beachy, lively, slightly chaotic in the best way, and absolutely delicious. Okay, so let's get into one of the other trip rules, and this one is a biggie. In every place, we challenged ourselves to collect 3 key souvenirs: a pin, a magnet, and an iron-on patch. So welcome to our first ever Souvenir Time! Let's go! Alright, it's time to rank Miami. Now, obviously, it's going straight into first place, because it's the only place we've been to so far, so there's nowhere else to rank it against. But honestly, even if it wasn't the first stop, it would have been really hard to beat. We really loved Miami. The vibe was so fun and cool, kind of like being in this like beachy vibe of Fast and Furious. The food was incredible, the weather was amazing, and it was the perfect way to start this huge adventure. So yeah, Miami, you've set the bar pretty high. Okay, so after Miami, we jumped straight on the Florida Turnpike and headed up to Orlando, which wasn't actually part of our original plan. A hurricane had just hit Tampa, which was where we were supposed to be going next, but we didn't want to be in the way of the cleanup or recovery efforts, so we made a quick change and ended up in Orlando instead. And you know what that means? New Starbucks mug collected. So quick fact about Orlando, it is actually one of the most visited cities in the world, and it's not hard to see why. It's the theme park capital of the planet, home to more than a dozen major parks, including the one and only Walt Disney World. Another fun fact, Disneyland is actually the size of San Francisco. Like, it's not just a theme park, it's a whole city. Now we only had one day in Orlando, and we were like, you know what? Let's just do Disney World. And I'm so glad that we did. We went to Magic Kingdom because if you're only going to go to one park, you have to see the castle. We got up right as the park opened, and we stayed until about 2 p.m. before we had to hit the road again. So we were on a mission. And honestly, we got so lucky. We did a ton of rides, the weather was perfect, and the energy was magical. It ended up being one of the best days of my life. I never really considered myself a huge Disney person, but after that day, I get it. I'm hooked. I'm already mentally planning our next trip there. And bonus, I didn't realise that this would happen, but another Starbucks mug collected. That night, we stayed in the Delta Hotel in Celebration, which we booked through Virgin Holidays. And yes, we did use points again. It was super affordable and really, really nice, even if we got to only stay there one night. And with that, it's souvenir time! Let's go! Alright, it's ranking time, and this one's actually kind of tricky. Orlando wasn't even supposed to be part of the trip, but the absolute magic of Disney World, the chaos, the rides, the castle, it just stole the show. So as much as we loved the Miami vibes, and we really did, it just was a bit on the pricey side. Not to say that Disney isn't expensive, because, oh, it is. But it just felt magical, and that's kind of hard to beat. So for now, Orlando takes the top spot. But hey, we've got a long way to go. Next up on our road trip, Panama City Beach. This stop was us officially making our way out of Central Florida and into the Panhandle, heading towards the rest of the US. It was a long drive, but we were super excited, and this felt like we were really kicking our trip into gear. Now this one had a little disappointment. There was no Starbucks mug. It's okay though, the memories make up for it, and the collection continues. Fun fact, Panama City Beach is known for having some of the whitest, softest sands in the US, made mostly entirely of quartz crystal that's been washed down from the Appalachian Mountains. So yeah, it's kind of like walking on powdered sugar. It's a classic Gulf Coast beach town, chilled out, super sunny, and known for spring breaks, seafood, and stunning sunsets. We didn't do a whole lot in Panama City Beach, and honestly, that was the whole point. We knew this was going to be the last time we'd see the ocean for a while, and we just wanted to enjoy it. No plans and no stress, just sun, sand, and a swim. And the best part? It was so quiet. We basically had the beach to ourselves. No crowds and no chaos, just us, the waves, and a few beautiful sunsets. Even though there was no Starbucks mug this time, there was no way we were leaving without our classics. It's souvenir time! Let's go! Panama City Beach, we stayed at Chateau Beachfront Hotel. And yep, it was right on the beach. Waking up to the sound of waves, it never gets old. Okay, it's time to update the rankings, and this one is tough. We really loved Panama City Beach. It was beautiful, peaceful, gave us that perfect beach reset before heading deeper into the US. But Miami's energy and Orlando's magic is some serious competition. So for now, Panama City Beach slides into third place. No complaints at all, it just had two heavy hitters ahead of it. We were on to our next destination and we were officially leaving Florida. And you know what that means. New state unlocked. Being in a new state also meant one other thing. Now, we weren't in Alabama for very long. It was definitely one of our drive-through states. So, with Starbucks mug in hand, we headed across the border. New state unlocked! We're running through this faster than I thought. We officially made it into Mississippi, the next state on our road trip, and you know what that means. Unfortunately, just like Alabama, Mississippi was just another quick one for us. We were doing a lot of driving that day. Right, are we ready to do this for the third time this day? New state unlocked! Our fourth state of the day, we had finally made it to Louisiana. And you know what that means. But we had finally made it to Louisiana, and Louisiana was where we were going to stay. Just like that, we made it to our next city, New Orleans, which also means, yup, another mug. Welcome to New Orleans, a city of soul, flavor, and a soundtrack of its own. It's known for its jazz, voodoo, beignets, and that wild, chaotic energy that somehow feels magical and laid back at the same time. Fun fact, New Orleans was founded in 1718 and has a mix of Spanish, French, African, and Caribbean influences, and you feel all of it in the food, the music, and the vibe. It's the kind of city where every street feels like a movie set and every corner has a story. We packed a lot into our time in New Orleans, and honestly, it was one of the most unique cities we have ever visited. First up, we had to do a jazz cruise on the Mississippi River. Total Princess and the Frog vibes. Was I hoping that an alligator would show up and play a trumpet? Absolutely. Did that actually happen? Obviously not. But the music, the river, the steamboat, it was magic. Then we went full on spooky mode and did a ghost tour, because how could you not? New Orleans is known for its voodoo, legends, and supernatural stories, and even though you've got to take it all with a pinch of salt, it was a fun way to see the city and hear all the wild stuff people say happened here. We explored the French Quarter, walked down Bourbon Street. It's loud, chaotic, and full of energy, kind of like if Mardi Gras lived here permanently. The history from the churches to the haunted houses, jazz clubs to ghost stories. New Orleans was wild, beautiful, and so much fun. While we were in New Orleans, we stayed at Romani Duncan Plaza, which used to be part of the Sonder Group, but recently changed hands. It was a really good location, super central, and a perfect walk from all the places we wanted to explore. The only downside? Parking. We had to sort and pay for that separately, which was sort of a mission, but overall, it was a super cool stay. Okay, let's talk about the food in New Orleans, because honestly, it's kind of a main character here. We tried all the local things. We had gumbo, and we also tried the beignets, and alligator sausage, because that's a New Orleans thing, right? And then had to try Popeyes, because technically it started in Louisiana. New Orleans food has a lot of Sorrel influences. Rich, spicy, comforting, and just so flavorful. Every meal is an experience. Our time in New Orleans is wrapping up, and you know what that means. Souvenir time!
Let's go!
We've officially added to the connection, and it is time to pull up the rankings. And honestly, New Orleans is probably going to slide into last place for now. Not because we didn't enjoy it, it was super cool and full of culture, but we also kind of fell in love with Florida as a whole. Sun, beaches, road trip energy, and this was our first stop that felt so different. It's not a bad thing, just a different pace. And hey, the list might change, you never know. Unfortunately, this is where our journey ends for now, so let's wrap up part 1 of our US road trip. In just one video, we explored 4 states, collected 6 Starbucks mugs, and even snuck in a surprise day at Disney World. Things didn't exactly go to plan. I'm looking at you, Hurricane, but it just makes the trip more memorable. Sometimes the detour turns into being the best bits. Here's how our city rankings are looking so far. Trust us, things are just getting started. In the next vlog, we'll take you from New Orleans all the way through Texas and the Mid-South, heading towards the Wild West Coast. So get ready for cowboy energy, New Mexico vibes, and a whole lot of road trip chaos. If you want any more info about the places that we visited in this video, check out our channel. We've got more detailed vlogs for each one of the destinations with all the behind the scenes and travel tips. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so that you'll see part 2.